Alright everybody, we got another Battletech game going on. We have the Mercenaries are hidden over here in certain areas in the water, which is level, looks like you're mostly in level 2 water over there. With your Warhammer's in level 1.
Yep.
We got a Shadowhawk in level 1. We got a Locust and a couple of Hunchbacks hidden behind the level 2 hill. And then it looks like a Prefla of... Oh, we got some catapults, Ryan, and an archer parked over there. Looks like our fire sport team has made it to the table. All right, so first turn we have some Cretan forces, House Creta, the snakes moving on the table over here. So I think they're snakes, maybe. You're on edge of, Korea space. So there you go. So your mission, you heard that there is a column of mechs coming down this road through here, and you were tasked to intercept them and stop them from coming anywhere off the table over there. So there you go. Now, it was requested here. We do have the different kind of dice over here. Let's get these right. We have the green die, which is for your walking. So if you walked 4 inches or 4 hexes, you get a 1. So that tells you walked and how far you went. Let's say you ran. Say you got the locust, it can go up to 12. Ran 10 hexes or inches forward. You'd be a white 4, obviously. If you jump, let's say you jumped 4. You'd get 1 for jumping forward and a 2 for jump. So that will let you know what your mods are. And if you're just doing nothing, you got no mod at all and you didn't move, well, there's the infamous blue 6. Which means everybody can shoot you up, right? Sounds good. Now, obviously, this is open terrain, so we're actually playing it as a miniature game. Basically, you can play Battletech as a miniature game on open terrain using the same exact rules.
Just no map.
No hexes.
No hexes.
So you just got to remember to put your die behind your guy, and then when you make a turn, and then you can just measure from there. So, and a turn is up to a full facing. So you can move a quarter facing if you want to. That's your turn. All right, so that's everything. So now we also use cards. So when we determine initiative, the cards, every mech and vehicle has a card in there, so that's not an issue. So there we go. All right, ready to go?
I'm ready.
Ready? All right. We'll be back with turn 1. Turn 1 is now complete. The strikers moved down the road here, and they're moving on the flank over here, going down the highway, and the fleas following in as their commander of the recon force, right there in the front. And they seen a Warhammer sitting in the water, so they fired their LRMs at it and missed. Adding all 4 dice up didn't even make half of what I needed to hit the first time, so that kind of sucked. But these 2 made up the difference, unfortunately. Yeah, you see a pair of boxcars right there with a pair of LRM 10s hit the locust, and everything went right into your center torso.
Yep.
He got hosed. Gyro hit and a engine hit, and he went kaplunk on his face. Luckily, you had armor in the leg where you took the damage. All right, so
took half that armor away.
Yeah, it's like, so now you have a locust with a gyro hit, has to stand, needs a 7, I think, to stand now. And then if he stands and if he runs, he's going to have problems. So there, yeah. And did I miss anything?
No.
No. Okay. Well, we shuffled the dice or the cards here, so we're ready to go there, and we'll move to turn 2 on the big red die. And we'll be back. Turn 2 is now complete. Well, it didn't go so well. And
Oh, it went just fine.
yeah. So over here we have the Locust punched out since he had a force withdrawal, and it was like, didn't want to take the chance of taking any damage. He just shut the mech down and left himself sitting there. And over here, the Hunchbacks and the Shadowhawk came over here and unleashed. The Shadowhawk did spot for the 2 catapults back there, and they just hammered that between the 2 Hunchbacks at long range. They got, 3 medium lasers, and then you hit with 3 LRM-15s with high numbers, and just tore the front right off of that vehicle. So it went up in smoke. Now over here, the 2 strikers fired at the Hunchback and did some damage, not much.
Well, on the Hunchback?
No, yeah, we did miss. We missed by that much.
You didn't hit me. No, you did.
Yeah.
Center torso, yep.
Yeah,
just a little bit, though.
Just a little bit. Paint.
And over here, these 3 amigos fired at the Warhammer that's right there and missed by a grand mile. I don't think I added all the dice together, and I don't think it would even equate to even a hit.
Yeah.
That's how bad it was. Went from low rolls to high rolls. I don't know what it is. Then they turned around and fired. All these guys fired at this flea. First one, the Warhammer put a large laser into the leg with a chance of critical. Floater crit. Went into the leg. Got 4 crits on the leg. Blew the leg off. Then the
Mr.
Orion over here had cluster hitter with his LRM-15 and just hit the center torso, and then center torso with a floater crit and got 3 crits out of that deal and cored him out. So it was like 1 dead flea.
Dead before he even hit the ground.
Yeah, he disappeared. And he was doing so well until he wasn't. So.
He was doing what he was supposed to do, go fast. It wasn't fast enough.
Yeah. If he just 1 more pip faster.
It didn't help that the Warhammer is a 1 pilot that did not move.
Yeah.
Well, if he hadn't been coming right at the...
Well, it happens to be this Warhammer right here. Was that Krieg?
Yeah.
Krieg. That is the company commander, or troop commander, force commander. He's our oldest.
Gunnery of 1? Yeah.
He's our oldest pilot. He was a, Solaris Arena warrior before he even started, so he was good to begin with. And he just, you no longer amuse me. Out of the way. All right, so that's the end of turn 2. We're moving on to turn 3. Turn 3. All right, we'll be back. Oh, I forgot to mention a Battlemaster, an Awesome, a Thunderbolt, and an Archer all walk into a bar. Oh. So these guys come walking on the table. So there is some reinforcements coming in to back these guys up. But that is a lot of firepower downrange right there. All right, we'll be back now. Turn 3. Yes, turn 3. All right. The vehicle over here came over here, is trying to hide behind the hill, getting to just shoot. As long as his big buddies were coming up here. You know, we got a Crusader, Grand Dragon, Archer, and a Thunderbolt over here. Here we got a Griffin, Phoenix Hawk, Awesome, and a Battlemaster coming around the other flank. And these 2 vehicles backed up, laying down some fire support. And they opened up all of them with indirect fire into the
Poor Orion.
And they did connect a bit. A little bit of damage too, right? Yeah. And so that was it. The only thing was that they didn't kill anything. But on the other side, these individuals over here opened up on the Battlemaster and hit with what?
4 PPCs.
5 PPCs. And
yeah,
because your PPC hit too.
I don't know, about 80 points worth of damage.
Yeah, so 5 PPCs. And then this catapult way back there. He was just in range and he dropped 2 LRM-15s into him. So, but he's standing. He needed a 4 and he did it. He's right there. There's the 4. And then all these Archer and this catapult were just barely in range of this vehicle right here, and they shot right down the line that you can see right through there. They can see him, and they did hit with 3 LRM-15s and ripped his front armor off and killed him. So right now we got 2 dead strikers on the battlefield. Yeah, not good. And then obviously a little bit of damage to the Battlemaster. 50 points. Actually, it was like 62, I think, damage he took. So we're moving on to turn 4 on the big die. Did I miss anything?
Nah.
The company formation commander, Krieg, he didn't do anything. Why is that?
Wasn't in range.
Yeah, because he swapped his PPCs for large lasers.
And he has more heat sinks, though.
Yeah. So he runs cool. And he's got, what, medium lasers? Something like that? All right. Okay, so that's it. That's the end of turn 3. Moving on to turn 4. Turn 4 is now complete. The hit parade come marching down here in column formation. You know, it's like when you're in column, you get easier hit, right? Different game. All right.
Pass through.
Yeah, pass through. All right, they shot over here and put some rounds into the Orion, but unfortunately for the red team, like 20-something damage went into the ground because of partial cover.
Fantastic.
But they did get into the juicy innards of you, though.
They did.
They did.
A little bit.
They took
the arm.
Your arm has got an actuator out. Now, just think if that was one into the arms, like instead of the legs, you might not have arms.
Yeah.
And then the Archer fired over here, put some damage onto the. It was the rounds that went into the water. That's what happened.
Really?
And these, there's a hunchback, or hiding behind everything. They're afraid of everything that's coming down the pipe. And it's like, oh, we're not going to go near that. Then these 4 mechs, this mech and the Shadowhawk and the Archer and the Catapult all shot into the Phoenix Hawk and the Battlemaster. Did tear the Battlemaster up pretty good. These guys, they ripped armor off right there at that range. And then they had to make pilot checks. And, geez, you only need to roll a 4, and they rolled 3s, both of them. Go figure. And they fell down. Go plunk. But the Battlemaster has 2 head hits. 3 head hits. But he's still awake. Unfortunately, he's got, 2 points of armor left on his head? Not armor.
2 points of internal
structure.
left on his head.
Yeah. Those little plinkers were just tearing him up. All right, so that is the end of the turn. We have a beat-up Orion there. Some damage on the mechs over here, but nothing getting through, but 2 mechs laying on the ground hurting. All right, let's move on to turn 5. So it's turn 5. Turn 5 has been a bloody affair. All right, over here, the Awesome moved up, fired his PPCs into the Orion, and tore a bunch of armor off. everybody over here shot the Orion and the one Marauder right there. Then the excitement happened where got a critical, hit the ammo, but he was like, oh no, we got edge. So re-roll that and took out the LRM instead of the ammo. So that would have been a lot of ammo going everywhere. That would have been a crater where there used to be a mech. But because of edge, you lived. So you use two edges. One to keep yourself from getting hit in the noggin, and another one from blowing sky high. So they're handy. Then over here, these two hunchbacks unleashed into the Thunderbolt, and you hit with what? 14 medium lasers?
13.
13?
One missed.
Okay. Yeah, that's a lot of medium lasers, but he's still standing. A lot of armor missing. And see, but the Dragon, the Archer, and the Crusader haven't been shot at. They're fine. And everybody was all concentrating on the Awesome this time. And they all fired down here, did a bunch of damage. And luckily, a lot of that damage went into the water again. It's like, why? Why does this happen?
Free armor.
Water is your friend.
Yeah.
Free armor and heat sinks.
That's why the Army says,
Yeah.
drink more water.
Yeah. And then we had a melee right here. The Griffin and the Cataphract kicked each other. And they're both standing after their kicks. So they're good to go. Oh, the Awesome, he fired into the Cataphract. And the Dragon fired into the Cataphract. That's what happened there. Forgot about that. Cataphract had a bunch of armor ripped off of him too, though. And does anything get in? No. Then at the very end phase, after everything was done, the Battle Master rolled an 11 to wake up. So he's back awake after needing a 10. So he's alive. He's alive. Zombie mech is back. Okay, so that's the end of 5. We're moving on to 6. Turn 6 on the big red die. All right. Turn 6. Disaster for the snakes. Snake Plissken is not happy with this one. All right, over here, the Battle Master had stood up, came over, and he was ready to lay in a kick onto the Cataphract that was right in front of him, along with the Awesome. And all 3 or 4 of those mechs and these 2 vehicles unleashed into the Cataphract. Tore a bunch of armor off, but he's still standing. And then they turned around and the took another small laser to the head, dome hit, and was it a core out? I think it was. So, yeah, not a good deal. But the Cataphract has 2 head hits on him, and then the catapult right there, right? Was that the catapult that killed the Battle Master?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was the brown one.
No,
Yeah,
it was
the
the
brown
Archer.
one. The brown
Was
one.
it?
Yep.
Yeah, it was that long range, max range, and he put the 2 LRM-15s into him, dome hits, and killed him with a pilot kill. So that's why the Battle Master's dead. It took 4 hits to the dome. That doesn't help at all. And then these mechs right here, they're the ones that took out the Awesome. Shot it all up. They put a bunch of fire, the catapult and the Warhammer right there, hit the Thunderbolt, tore a bunch of its armor off, failed its pilot check, and fell on his face. And these fired their short-range weapons here, tore a lot of its armor. I don't know if there's any armor left on that Orion. It's tore up bad. And then they got into the juicy parts of that middle, that Marauder right there. Then the Dragon comes flying around the corner, and this Hunchback and these 2 Swaybacks and that Shadowhawk all unleashed onto the Dragon, and you hit with 15 or 16, and a small laser, medium lasers.
13 medium lasers and the small laser.
Yeah, it just tore all.
And
its
then, oh yeah, the Shadowhawk. So that'd be 14.
Yeah. And
15,
you hit him
yeah.
with his autocannon and the LRM for maximum damage. So it was like you kept hitting the center torso.
Yep, a
And
lot of center torsos on that one.
it just went right in through and out the back. So, yeah, there's not much you can do when you just keep getting hit in the same spot. So that was the end of the Dragon, the Awesome, and the Battlemaster. It's like lucky die rolls. What's the most common die roll, though, when you're rolling 2 is a 7. So we kept hitting the center torso on that one.
Yep.
Which is uncommon, though, is all the dome hits you got from LRMs.
Mm-hmm.
And then this just tore all the armor off and just basically cored out the Awesome there. So that was the end of turn 6. So we're moving on to turn 7. Well, turn 7, this might be the last turn. Turn 7. Phoenix Hawk jumped back to here. He only has one medium laser and his armor's been stripped off, so he's not too big a no guts, no glory type thing. It's not working for him. They had the 2 vehicles just laying down fire support. They did about 20 damage. I think it was exactly 20 damage to the Cataphract because he hit it with a PPC and they hit with some LRMs. So they're there. Made his pilot check. They fired back over here and tore a bunch of his armor off. So he's like, ouch, I'm hurting bad. Now the interesting thing was who fired the PPC over here?
Middle Marauder.
Marauder fired a PPC into the back of the Thunderbolt and got a headshot. So they just watched the cockpit explode into a big giant exploding. And the 2 Hunchbacks and the Ryan unleashed onto the Crusader and tore most of his armor off and shot his right arm off. So he is got an open left torso. His arm is missing, but everything else is not too bad. Almost losing his left arm though too. All right, so that is it, I think. Other than these guys all unleashed over here and tore this guy up pretty good. So that means we're moving on to turn 8. All right, turn 8. Turn 8 is now complete, and it's a, let's call it a wipe. Let's put it that way. All right, the Cataphract came over here and hit the first vehicle there with his AC cannon and PPC and all the medium lasers and tore that striker apart, obliterated it. And then this Marauder back here fired at long range, hit it with a couple PPCs and I think a large laser, something like that, and blew up that vehicle. So that was the end of that one. These 2 mechs here just jumped out of the way. He was hot, so he was just getting out of the sight so he could cool off. This group over here, this hit parade, opened up and hit the Crusader, ripped all of its armor off, and then the Shadowhawk you hit with an LRM 5.
LRM 5.
For 4 points and hit the
really
ammo.
lucky.
Hit the ammo and exploded it. SRM ammo in the center torso, blew to pieces. And then the 2 Hunchbacks opened up on the Archer along with, was it the Orion? Hit the Archer, tore the armor off.
Oh, and our Archer too.
Yeah, and the Archer. So the Archer, Orion, and the 2 Hunchbacks hit the Archer right there. And then the end result was they tore all the armor off, but he was still okay. He did take 1 crit in the arm, took out an actuator. But he had to make his pilot check, failed his pilot check, fell on his side, hit his left torso, tore the armor off with the first hit, and the second hit right in the same spot, and had a chance of critical for 1 point internal and hit the ammo. So he blew himself up. Denied, I guess. Maybe he just hit the self-destruct button. I don't know. We don't know because he went up into a flash. We had a full bay of LRM-15 ammo just went up. So, yeah. That was the end of that mech. So I think the next turn would be turn 9, and these two would just get off the table. So we're going to call it right there. They won't be able to catch those guys. You don't have anything fast enough.
Well, we did. Till I
Did.
lost the locust on the first turn.
Yeah. Lesson is do not leave a light mech going only with a 1 mod when there's heavies around. And, well, actually it wasn't even the heavies. It was the 2 strikers took you out.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, that's the end of the game. What do you guys think?
Had us worried there in the beginning, I think, but it turned out pretty sour for the dragons.
Yeah, it didn't help that there was heavy lance parked in the water.
Middle of the map the entire time.
Yeah, sitting there.
All but one turn.
You guys
Pretty
were
much, yeah.
dissipating, 22 heat or something like that? It's like, they're just cool. Yeah, they were cool. I tried shooting you up, but kept hitting the water.
It is what it is.
Yeah. All right, so that's the end of the game. We'll be back with another one. All right, Hellcrick's out.